Hey everyone. So if you feel like you're completely drowning in a sea of AI chatbots, you are definitely not alone. It's a crowded, super confusing market, and today we're going to make sense of it all. We're diving deep into the data to figure out who's really leading the pack and what their strategies mean for all of us. Okay, let's get into it. So, just to get a sense of the scale of this whole thing, we're looking at data from the AI Big Bang study. And get this, they analyze over 10,500 AI tools on the market. That's right, 10,000 plus options, all fighting for your attention. It's a total explosion of choice, which, makes picking the right tool a massive challenge. But here's where it gets really interesting. Look at how that attention is actually split up. So despite those thousands and thousands of tools, the top 10 chatbots capture almost 60% of all the web traffic. The other 10,000 plus tools, yeah, they're all fighting over what's left. It just goes to show you how much of our attention is focused on just a handful of dominant players. Which, of course, brings us to the big question, right? The whole reason we're here. With all this competition in such a concentrated market, who is actually coming out on top? And maybe more importantly, how are they doing it? Well, let's start with the undisputed heavyweight champion, the one tool that has pretty much defined this entire category since it launched, OpenAI's ChatGPT. I mean, its dominance is frankly staggering. Just look at this number. Of all the traffic going to all AI tools, ChatGPT alone gets over 48% of it. That is nearly half of the entire market. To put that in perspective, the next 9 competitors combined barely even make up 10%. It's not even close. And this table from this study really drives that point home. Over just 12 months, ChatGPT racked up an incredible 46.6 billion web visits. You can just see how it absolutely dwarfs everyone else on this list. I mean, sure, Grok and Gemini are pulling in some impressive numbers, but they're not even in the same league. And here's the real kicker. Its growth is actually speeding up. In the last quarter of the study, its average monthly visits jumped to 5 billion. That's up from an average of 3.88 billion over the full year. So this lead, it isn't just big, it's getting bigger. But this isn't a one-horse race. There's this fascinating ecosystem of competitors popping up. And they're not trying to beat ChatGPT at its own game. No, instead, they're using some really clever strategies to carve out their own space in the market. And we can really break these strategies down into 2 main camps. On one side, you've got the fast movers, like Grok. Their whole game is about explosive, headline-grabbing growth, often because they're integrated into huge platforms. Then, on the other side, you have the deep engagers, like Claude, who are all about the quality of the interaction, trying to build a super loyal user base through deeper, more meaningful engagement. For a perfect example of a fast mover, you don't have to look any further than Grok. It saw this mind-bending year-over-year growth of over 1.3 million%. It literally rocketed from just 51,000 visits to nearly 687 million. I mean, that kind of leap is almost unheard of, and it's mostly because it's built right into the social media platform X. Okay, so now let's pivot to the deep engagers. As Sujan Sark, one of the co-authors of the study, points out, Claude's average session time is almost 17 minutes. He says users aren't just querying, they're sustaining long, complex interactions. So this isn't about asking a quick question and getting a quick answer. People are having long, complex back-and-forth conversations with it. And why does that matter so much? Well, because that kind of deep engagement is perfect for really specialized, high-value professional work. Think about industries like R&D or medical diagnostics or super complex technical support, places where sustained reasoning and remembering context are absolutely critical. That's the niche where Claude is building its loyal following. So, okay, we've got these clever market strategies, but they only work if the tech can actually back it up, right? Which brings up a huge question. With giants like OpenAI and Google pouring billions into R&D, how can smaller, often open source players even possibly hope to keep up on a technical level? Well, the answer lies in this technological revolution that's happening pretty much right under our noses. There are new breakthroughs in efficiency that are allowing these smaller models to punch way, way above their weight, and it's leveling the playing field in a really remarkable way. A key innovation here is something called DeepSeek Sparse Attention, or DSA. Now, this can get technical really fast, but the best way to think of it is like this. Instead of the AI having to read every single piece of information every time you ask it something, DSA works like an expert researcher who instantly knows which specific book and which page to pull from the library. It just dramatically reduces the amount of work the computer has to do. And here's what happens when you use it. By combining tech like DSA with another clever trick, training on thousands of synthesized or computer-generated tasks, these models are getting really good at generalizing and solving new problems. Now, these charts are complex, I know, but the bottom line is they show a clear upward trend in performance across a huge range of tasks. It's proof that this new training method really works. So the big takeaway here is that these innovations are working. Open source models like DeepSeek are now performing at a level on complex reasoning tasks that's comparable to the closed source giants like GPT-5. The technology gap is closing, and it's happening a lot faster than anyone expected. Okay, so we've covered the market leader, the challengers, and the tech that's powering them. Now let's bring it all together and figure out what this actually means for you, whether you're a professional, a business owner, or just a curious person trying to pick the right tool for the job. First things first, a word of caution. As we saw with DeepSeek, explosive growth doesn't always mean stability. After peaking at over 500 million monthly visits, its traffic fell by almost 40% in just 5 months as all that initial buzz started to fade. The big lesson here is that hype cycles are not the same thing as long-term viability. So, what should businesses actually do? Well, this analysis points to 3 key strategies. First up, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Build a multi-chatbot strategy to stay flexible. Second, specialize. Use those deep engagers like Claude or Perplexity for specific complex tasks where you know they really shine. And third, stabilize. Look at a company's long-term roadmap, not just its latest traffic spike. You want to pick for stability, not just novelty. And to make it even more practical, here's a quick little guide. If you're a coder, GitHub Copilot is a total no-brainer. In marketing or sales, HubSpot Breeze plugs right into your workflow. For deep research where you really need sources, Perplexity is fantastic. If you live inside Microsoft Office all day, then Microsoft Copilot is your new best friend. And for more friendly, personal kinds of conversations, Pi offers a really unique and engaging experience. Which brings us to our final question. This isn't just a race with one finish line. Are we watching the coronation of a single king, like ChatGPT, who's going to rule the entire market? Or are we seeing the rise of this diverse ecosystem of specialized champions where each one is winning its own specific race? The data suggests the answer is far from decided, and the next few years are going to be absolutely fascinating to watch.